Hello everyone, Daniel here with another AWS book review. Today I will be talking about Mastery Machine Learning on AWS from the Packet Collection. This book is mainly for data scientists or machine learning developers or deep learning enthusiasts who wants to build models on the cloud using the AWS integration and services and some Python programming and the machine learning concepts are needed in order to take the most of this book. So let's take a look. The book has 18 chapters, 16 chapters, I think. So what this book covers, basically, it's a very detailed book on everything that you need to understand on machine learning. So, for example, the chapter one covers getting started with machine learning on AWS. So, it gives you an introduction on machine learning. It explains why it's necessary for data scientists to learn about machine learning and how AWS can help you to solve various real problems in the work, various real world problems. So, it's also discusses the AWS services and tools that is used in order to understand machine learning. So basically, this chapter is how AWS empowers data science. They use AWS tools for machine learning. How do you identify the problems that are going to be used in machine learning? The machine learning project life cycle, data gathering, evaluation metrics, algorithm sections, and deploy models. The second chapter talks about classifying Twitter feeds with native barriers, so it gives you an introduction to the basis of naive-Bayes algorithms and presents a test classification problems that will be addressed by the use of algorithms and language models. It has some examples of the naive-Bayes using scikit-learn and Apache Spark on SageMaker based in text. So basically, you will see all the classification algorithms, the feature types, how the naive-Bayes classifiers works, the Bayes theorem, classifying text with language models, collecting the tweets, preparing the data, building the naive-Bayes model through SageMaker Notebooks, the naive-Bayes model on SageMaker Notebooks using Apache Spark, and how to use the blazing text with the machine learning services. On chapter 3 is going to be an example of the prediction of the house value with regression algorithms. So it gives you an introduction to the basic regression algorithms and it applies them to the predict of the houses given a number of features. So in this chapter you will see the prediction of the house model, how understanding the linear regression, linear least squares estimation, maximum likelihood estimation, the gradient descent, the evaluation regression models, the mean absolute error, the mean square error, the root mean square error, the R squared, implementing linear regression through scikit-learn, implementing linear regression through Apache Spark, implementing linear regression through SageMaker linear regression learner, and understanding the logistic regression. Then on chapter 4 is going to be about the predictions of the user behavior with tree-based methods. So it's going to be the introduction to the decision trees, random forest, and the gradient boost trees. So it will talk about the decision trees, the recursive splitting, the cost function, the criteria to stop splitting trees, understanding the random forest algorithms, understanding the gradient boost algorithms, predicting clicks on long terms, introduction to elastic map reduce, training with Apache Spark on EMR, and training gradient boosted with trees on SageMaker services. On chapter 5, it's going to be the customer segmentation using clustering algorithms. So it's going to be all about clustering. So understanding the clustering algorithms, the K-means clustering, the hierarchical clustering with Apache Spark on EMR, clustering Spark on SageMaker, and understanding the process of the IAM role in these terms of using SageMaker. Then it's going to have the next chapter, the analyzing visitor patterns to make recommendations. So it's going to be all about the recommendation criteria, the collaborative filtering, memory-based approach, model-based approach, finding recommendation to Apache, data gathering exploration, training model, and getting recommendations, and the preparations using the dataset for the learning. The next chapter is going to be, and the next section is going to be about deep learning. So the implementing of deep learning algorithms. So you are going to understand deep learning algorithms, application of deep learning, self-driving cars, learning to play video games using deep learning algorithms, understanding deep learning algorithms, neural networking, introduction to deep learning algorithms, and understanding the convolutional neural networks. Then it's going to be about the implementation of these deep learning algorithms using TensorFlow, which goes through a series of practical image recognition problems and explains how to address them using the TensorFlow on AWS. So it's going to be basically how to use TensorFlow, the TensorFlow general machine learning library, the TensorFlow model through SageMaker, which is the machine learning service of AWS. Then it's going to have the image classification and detection on SageMaker. So it's going to have the introduction for the image classification and the training. And now it's going to be more hands-on on SageMaker services. And finally, on section 4 is going to be the working with AWS Comprehend, which is another machine learning service from AWS, which explains the functionality of an AWS tool called Comprehend, which is the NLP tool that performs various useful tasks on AWS. So it's going to be all hands-on on the Amazon Comprehend for the natural language processing tool which they have. Then it's going to take a look to another service, which is the AWS recognition. So it's going to explain everything about Amazon recognition, the implementing object sense detection, implementing facial analysis, and other recognition services. Then it's going to start talking about the AWS Lex, which is the Lex tool for the build conventional interfaces. So it's mainly to start building bots. So in the introduction to Amazon Lex, building chatbots by using Amazon Lex, and some summary exercises. And finally, the last section of the book is going to be about creating clusters on AWS. So the choosing your instance types, on-demand versus stop instances, reserve pricing, Amazon Machine Learning AEM, deep learning hardware, distributed deep learning, and model parallelization, and the distribution with TensorFlow and Apache Spark, and the parallelization with SageMaker. And the last chapter are going to be the optimizing the models on Spark and SageMaker, the tuning cluster machine learning, and the deploying models built on AWS. So it's going to be about some examples for you to optimize the models on SageMaker, on Spark, and the other services that you can use, which are going to be the EMR architecture from Apache, and the EMR, and deploying the models that you want to build. Something that is very interesting about this book is that you have all the codes. So if you get the book, you are going to have access to all the code to do all the, how you see in each chapter, there are some exercises that you are going to be able to develop in order to understand the concepts. So as you can see, the book is very, it has a lot of concepts of machine learning. It's going to be I mean, it's a very way to learn and understand everything regarding machine learning on AWS. So it has a lot of topics and a lot of examples and a lot of techniques that you can start understanding in order to develop your machine learning models. So I'm going to leave, as always, the link of the book so you can get the book in Amazon. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel and to follow me on my social networks. And if you get the book and if you are learning machine learning, just let me know in the comments what are you doing, what do you think of the book, and if you have been able to develop some of the samples of the book. Thank you everyone, and see you next time. Bye bye.